Yeah, yeah, I'm out at Brooklyn. Now I'm down in Tribeca, right next to the Narrow. But I'll be hood forever. I'm the new Sinatra. And since I made it here, I can make it anywhere. Yeah, they love me everywhere. I used to cop in Harlem. All of my Dominicanos right there up on Broadway. Brought me back to that McDonald's. Took it to my stash spot, 560 State Street. Catch me in the kitchen like a Simmons whipping pastry. Cruising down A Street, off-white Lexus. Driving so slow, but BK is from Texas. Me, I'm out that Bed-Stuy, home of that boy Biggie. Now I live on Billboard, and I brought my boys with me. Say what up to Tata, still sipping my top. Sitting courtside, Knicks and Nets give me high five. I be spiked out, I could trip a referee. Tell by my attitude that I most definitely from.
All right, Andre, here we sit, just a couple hours before the Heisman ceremony. What's going through your head right now as you approach this moment?
I'm really just thinking about how big all this is, what it means for me, what it means for my team, what it means for BC, and trying to get my speech together in my head just in case I have to go up there and say thank you.
How difficult has that been for you? Is that a process you've been agonizing over?
I haven't really been agonizing over it. I think just over the course of the last month, really, especially the last couple weeks, doing different interviews and things, I kind of been pulling things together, and I don't think it'll be too much at this point.
For a guy who wants to be, who knows, could be a writer someday. You're 80 pages into a novel. When you sat down to write this speech, what'd you think about first?
I just thought about the people involved in this whole process that I really need to thank and say something to, and I just thought about the season and my whole time here at Boston College.
And you had, I guess, a pregame moment on Thursday night in Orlando when you won the Doak Walker Award, the first BC running back to win it. What does that award mean to you?
To be the nation's premier running back, it means a lot. I'm joining a lot of other great names, and I've met a lot of other great names here tonight too. I was actually chopping it up with Tony Dorsett last night in the hospitality suite, and just having a really great time. It's still a lot to process, but I'm just thankful to be here.
No, and I'm sure it's overwhelming at times when you walk the streets of New York and you're walking next to Johnny Manziel and you're walking next to Jameis Winston and Jordan Lynch and A.J. McCarron, all the other finalists. Take us through that whole week or couple days here in New York and what that's been like.
It's just been a really fun, great experience. It was actually pretty stressful, running here and there, running on a little bit of sleep, and just fulfilling our obligations. But just being able to be around the other great players has really been the best part, and seeing their off the field personality, they're all really interesting people.
What have you learned about some of them, like Manziel or Winston?
Winston is a clown. He's a really just silly, goofy guy. And I can see how that really helps him be a leader on the field, just because, he doesn't have to be uptight around his team. And I think that's important at the quarterback position. Manziel, he's just a physically freaky guy. You don't really see it right off the bat, but then you look at his feet, he has size 15 shoes.
Wow.
His hands are huge. He's a phenom. So I could see how he does the things he does on the field, how he runs down the field with no ball security at all. I'm kind of jealous of it, but yeah, these guys are they're all really interesting people. Trey's really cool and calm like myself, and AJ actually wasn't here yesterday, but today he came, and he just has a real Southern, dignified way about him. And Jordan he's cool too. He's calm. He looks like he might be from a small town or something. He's just real quiet, and he looks like he doesn't have a problem going to work at any time.
The offensive line has been just such an unbelievable unit all year. You've had 1,000 yards after contact this year, but that first level, it's pretty much all about them. What do they mean to Andre Williams?
Matt Patchin, Big Bob, A.G. Killer, Harris Williams, and Ian. They're my big brothers. I call them all big brother, because they really they've paved the way for me in blood and sweat, and I really like in trying to find a way for them to just share in this moment and take a piece of it home with them if I really do end up winning. But they just they deserve it as much as I do.
And your running back coach Al Washington told us that his favorite moment of yours was the Maryland game. You got caught from behind, but it was a play that you never called before. And he came up to you and said, "Andre, we're running it." And you said your shoulder was hurting a little bit, I think, but you took the ball and you ran with it, and you put Nate Freese in position to kick the game-winning field goal. And he said that was his favorite Andre Williams moment because you really dug deep to make that play. Do you remember that, and do you agree?
Yeah, I do. It was that game was just, it was really unbelievable. It was crazy how it all came together. Coach Washington, he says it's my greatest moment, but he doesn't realize how much of a part he really plays in those moments. There's just times where we're getting into play 8, play 9 of a drive and beyond, and I'm tired, I'm beat. But it's like he can sense it, because that's the moment he's yelling from the sideline, Dre, like, where's your heart? And beating his chest, and just being that little burst that I need to go one more play. And he's been there from the start.
How difficult was that to graduate in 3.5 years and to become not only a great student but a great athlete?
It was really difficult. It was hard a lot of times, and you really have to learn how to prioritize. And sometimes prioritizing things means not everything's gonna get done today. Sometimes you're gonna have to skip a class, sometimes you're gonna have to miss hours of sleep. Sometimes you might have to beg the teacher for an extension for a paper. But all those things really helped me to grow as a person. I think being a student athlete in itself is really difficult. Being a student athlete at BC is extremely difficult just because of what BC represents. It's a D1 institution, and it's in terms of education, it's like an Ivy League school. But I think if you can come here and really accept what it is that you set yourself on a path to do, coming to BC and playing football, you'll really just grow in ways that you can't foresee.
And finally, your family's here tonight with you. If you do win the Heisman, I'm guessing they're probably one of the first lines in your acceptance speech, and what they've meant to you throughout this whole journey. When you think of your family, what does that mean to you?
I love my family. I love my mom. I'm a mama's boy. I love my dad. I love my brothers and sisters, and my brother and sister. But just them being able to come and support me just means everything to me. They've been here from the start, and I wouldn't be here without them. They really set the foundation and raised me the right way, raised me to be able to maneuver in an institution like BC. My mom just really, and dad really set a great work ethic in me, and just a great passion, and made me a God-conscious person. And I think that's really what's kept me on a straight path.